So last night was incredible. If you guys aren't aware, I've been doing stand-up comedy every Monday night, and last night I just killed it, and I'm still on cloud 9 from that experience. So for those of you guys who liked that community post, thank you so much for that support. To answer that question, because this video is going to be a discussion on a different topic, but to address kind of the elephant in the room, no, I am not posting my comedy online. Maybe that will change in the future, but I view these as like workshops. But I did get invited to a new club, which is really interesting and exciting to see. And so hopefully I'll have more news to report. So maybe one day you'll get to experience, I guess, kind of my absurd level of humor that seems to be going over really well. I'm having a blast with it. So again, thank you guys for the support and for being here. Now, let's do a weird pivot into the topic of this video. This is a discussion video talking about content creators, but really it's going to kind of focus more on streamers. But note that I include myself in the content creation label, and this video is asking, do streamers and content creators need a harsher level of terms of service when it comes to playing their games and the content that they make, as opposed to somebody who's just a normal gamer, like just a everyday gamer? Like I still categorize myself as an everyday gamer, but I am well aware of the fact that you guys have hit subscribe on this channel, and thus it kind of does to deny the content creator in me just seems a little bit weird. Anyway, that all being said, to catch you guys up to speed, over on Ginger JRPG, I covered the latest news about Yoshi P really kind of going on and actually enforcing the terms of service, and a Japanese streamer, got a 10-day suspension from Final Fantasy XIV. And this beyond Final Fantasy XIV, just as a bigger topic in and of itself, these kind of things don't actively hurt the creator. Now, them being on, kind of a yellow card in soccer or football, if you're not here in the United States, them having that aspect will change kind of their attitude. But this is a massive advertisement. We can't deny that this is not a massive advertisement for the content creator. And this is what we see time and time again in content creation. In fact, big streamers often joke that getting, suspended from, Twitch is this like vacation in which that you come back rested and to a bigger audience than ever before, because generally speaking, this is what drives a lot of attention. And if we're going to be completely honest about content creation, it's a game of getting the attention and then holding on to the attention. So it doesn't necessarily mean getting suspended from the game is going to equal long-term massive success for you in the long term. Just kind of flubbed that one. But it does mean that it can help elevate you, especially early on. Now, we've seen this already within the 14 community, Xenos and authors. We've seen them actually take these suspensions and come back to stronger numbers. I was just looking up all the stats earlier, and I don't have the full detailed history back from when they happened, but you can actually see kind of a nice little bump from that perspective. And then moving forward, seeing kind of the people and that general interest that people have in the person who has now been advertised as someone who is violating the terms of service. Don't mishear me. I think the terms of service are the terms of service, and they should absolutely be followed. I'm not advocating for that, but I'm advocating is that in terms of the actual enforcement, sometimes instead of being a punishment, it is actually a blessing. Sometimes it's advertisement. Sometimes this is actually something that works in the favor of the content creator. We shift this into the concept of a permaban, and if you were saying, oh, so-and-so is a game creator, that's all they make, and then they get banned from the game, you effectively take their livelihood. You effectively kind of, that in and of itself goes into a degree in which that it does act as an actual punishment. And so then, yes, you wouldn't, as a content creator, want to be banned from your games. We've seen this already happen within other games. So you take Lono from Reforged Radio, Reforged Gaming, he got banned from Destiny, like just out of the blue. And because of that ban, he can't actually play or go and create an alternate account, because within even the terms of service within YouTube, like the company could actually claim the channel and strike the channel at that point. And so this content creation game becomes really murky. It becomes this weird gray area in which that you're kind of incentivized to play by the rules, but you're kind of also incentivized to try and garner as much attention. And so this is this weird game of Pong. And that's why when I look at this concept of the streamer ban, it's not acting as a punishment. It is acting as a message to everybody else. But even still, let's say, like, I'm not running any third-party add-ons right now. Let's say I decided to run some third-party add-ons. Could that negatively impact me as a creator? And I don't think it would at first. It'd give me content to make. It'd give me something to talk about. I could go talk about other games, clearly. And it would give me a break from the game forcibly. And so all of those things in that kind of context in the short term would be really healthy, would be really good. Wouldn't see anything bad. Even people who would like meme on it or like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Brian, and then, oh, it serves him right for violating terms of service. The thing within content creation is like, then you're talking about me. And I think that's essentially where, when I think about this subject more and more, I fall on the idea that content creators should have some extra level of like terms of service, that as a content creator, if doing certain things, maybe comes with stricter, what a fun flub, like penalties. But what are those penalties like? And to flip it to the question to you, because I don't actually have an answer to this question, and that's why this has just been rattling around my head like all day. What would it be? Without like permanently banning, because a permaban like that's obviously, I think, something that solves the problem. But you don't want to discourage content creation, because content creation acts as that free marketing and publicity. It acts as a great way to get your game in front of people. In fact, actually, one of the videos I want to make for you guys today is in response to Josh Strife Hayes and talking about how social media replaced the MMORPG, which I think is a fundamentally flawed argument. While I like Josh, I don't actually agree with that. So if you guys are interested in that video, note that will be coming up today on the channel. That all being said, is that what is the answer? Like, what can Square Enix do? And in this new era of content creation, especially with what they're trying to do with saying no add-ons for third party. Even like when I say add-ons, like they don't even support their own. So Square Enix's really only course of action is to address the need that is missing in the game, but that will still, then people will probably come up with new needs that need to be addressed, and they'll probably try to develop them faster. And so it's this weird, sticky, murky situation that I think Yoshi P and Square Enix is in, having seen the game elevate to its success. But at the same time, I've seen a lot of people kind of advocate that this is a lot of the WoW people coming over. And my general philosophy is like, I see that happen with the 14 community, kind of blaming the WoW player for transitioning over to Final Fantasy 14. And I don't technically see that, because the way I view MMORPGs, and this is my personal view, you don't need to adapt it, is that I would think that if you actually like polled the 14 community as a whole, you'd find that the majority of them played World of Warcraft. There's very few of us that are like, I guess Final Fantasy 11 and 14 vets, hardcore, never played WoW. My entry into WoW was in I think Shadowlands. I touched it like once or twice, but I think I put more time into kind of prepping for Shadowlands and then just getting absolutely flustered and bored of that game. And so when it comes down to it, it's like, I do think that it's like, if people, I wonder essentially is if the person who's crying that it's those WoW players isn't themselves like, just don't look at my game history, just no. Nobody check to see it previously uninstalled or in, like games that are installed on my PC, please. Thank you very much. Anyhow, guys, that's the discussion that I like to have with you guys. I'm very curious about your feedback. Thank you so much for your time and listening to kind of my random thoughts on this specific subject, because it is this weird complexity that I hope to explore with you guys in a future follow-ups or on a future live stream. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video, but until then, take care.
Yeah. It's time to chill out on the couch and read some comments. That's right. You know me when it comes to Destiny. I'm off with the clan, and I'm glad you're feeling better. Oh yeah.